Welcome back to another Real Talk reaction. This one right here is for Hannibal, Season 1, Episode number 13. I believe this is the season finale.
It is.
Don't forget to like and subscribe, man. We done it. Let's get to it.
Alright, a couple comments from the last episode, starting with Christian, who says, who's excited to get into Season 2? Well, Christian, I would absolutely be excited to get into Season 2, but you guys gotta vote it back into rotation, so it's on y'all.
Yep.
I heard Season 2's fucking fire, though, so I'm here for it. But I'm gonna hold any thoughts, because the finale needs its own respect and time and energy. So, then we have Lemuel, who says, I'm not sure... but I did think they addressed Will's brain being on fire when they brought him into the hospital. They treated his symptoms, which led to his recovery. I didn't think that they treated encephalitis. I think they treated the fact that he had a fever. I didn't see them do no tests on him and confirm he has encephalitis or whatever it's called. So that's why I was like, the shit is just going to heat back up again because they only treated his fever, the fact that he had a fever, which I don't think that necessarily clears up his brain virus. But I could be wrong. I just feel like it hasn't been clearly articulated yet.
Yeah.
Okay. You can see that in this episode because Will is thinking clearly for the first time. Again, I think that's just a symptom of his fever having been addressed. So he, for a moment or momentarily, he's cool. Making all these rapid connections that are pointing him toward Hannibal. This is a great point in the season. Basically, it's Hannibal and Will both rushing towards their endgame. Can Will figure out it's Hannibal before Hannibal deals with Will? Also, LOL to your frustration that no one can see Hannibal for what he is. We've all been there. I believe the creator of the show pointed out that Hannibal is so infused in pop culture that we're primed to see him as a serial killer. But if you're just a person living in that world, no one would ever see the couth, elegant psychiatrist as a notorious cannibal. I mean, facts, but I love the pop culture theme or comment because, like, absolutely on side. It's just like, that's who he is. Mm-hmm. Don't you hear his name?
Yeah.
Final point, Hannibal is such a fascinating character in the books, movies, and in this TV show because, from his fucked up perspective, he genuinely wants people to become their best selves. You can see that in this episode when he confesses that he only set the stage for Abigail to kill Nick Boyle because he thought it would make Abigail better. In his own words, he was curious to see what would happen. At his core, Hannibal is a demented kind of therapist. We can see that. He legitimately thinks his therapeutic methods regarding Will is actually in Will's best interest. Looking forward to your reaction to the finale. Mm-hmm. Awesome. Last comments from Emma, who says, it's almost time. Then hopefully we can get to Season 2, or get Season 2 voted back in because it's by far the best season. So back to this episode. I found it really sad for Will that Hannibal killed Georgia because he seemed to be forming a connection with her. The soup that Hannibal feeds Will has ingredients that could possibly exacerbate encephalitis. I agree with the previous comment. Hannibal genuinely thinks he is helping Will to become his best self. At the same time, he is also trying to protect himself from suspicion by using Will. Matt's facial expressions are just brilliant with how subtle they are. I think Bedella stays mysterious. You never know what her motives fully are, but her story is interesting. Yep, still only Hannibal who knows about the encephalitis. Great reaction. Okay, cool. Mm-hmm. That's what we thought, because no one's actually said encephalitis, and I feel like that's a big word that should be said for him to actually get fully cured. Great comments as always. Let's get into the finale right now.
No choice. Just shoot it. Right. Doesn't go faster than him. damn door. She probably got fucking something flew off under the door. What is that? Is this still a dream?
What's his face fucking with him?
Who, this guy?
Yes, this motherfucker.
I went to Minnesota. Took Abigail. We went to Minnesota. She didn't come back with me. Sure.
This shit is so fucked. Did he cut off her ear and put it in the sink?
I don't see nothing, bro.
I remember going to bed last night. I must have. Maybe I got up, let the dogs out, and then
When was the last time you saw Abigail?
my feet were muddy.
Well, when was the last time you saw Abigail?
Yesterday. At her father's cabin. I had an episode. She said something was wrong with me. She was afraid of me. And she ran away.
What happened? Why was she afraid?
I hallucinated that I killed her. But it wasn't real. I know it wasn't real.
Hannibal is acting his ass off right now.
Well, we have to go, Jack. You can't run from this. It will only be worse. Get rest.
I'm walking over there being like, oh, this is great. Like, I can't, babe. The
I don't know
psycho.
what else to do for you, man. After we've tried so many things, it has escalated, Will.
Now you feel that again.
This is crazy, man. I'm gonna have to call Jack. There's nothing else I can do for you.
I can't protect you from this.
What are we gonna find in Minnesota, Will?
I don't know.
He's like, legitimately.
Go ahead, process it.
And that wraps up a plan. On to a new game, man. Check and mate.
keys, house, car.
Right rear pocket, and a leather wallet containing $17 cash.
Right rear pocket, leather wallet, $17.
Right front pocket, one folding knife.
Right front pocket, full.
God, did he like scratch him up and put her
I
blood
can't do
in
the
his
silent
head?
treatment. I can't pretend I don't know you, and I can't pretend we both don't know what I'm finding under your nails. You called me once because you didn't trust yourself to know what was real. This blood is real, Will.
No, I know.
Do you know how it got there?
No. Will any certainty know?
Certainty comes from the evidence. I didn't want to find any evidence on you. I wanted to be certain about who you are, but you can't even be certain with yourself.
Not anymore.
If you weren't certain with yourself, you shouldn't have been here. This is the FBI.
I thought I would get better.
You always said you interpret the evidence, so do it, Will. Interpret the evidence.
According to the evidence,
It's not working. I'm sorry. I'm fucked up.
I killed Abigail.
This is so fucked.
We analyzed the tissue. It matched Abigail Hobbs. It was her ear. Her blood under Will's fingernails, scratches on his arms are all defensive wounds. Like she fought back.
Shut up. Stop talking. He won't get too close. You said you would cover him. You could see he was breaking.
Yes, I could. And I kept pushing him. Because he was sick.
Are supposed to be the lenses through which we see ourselves living beyond this life.
I think of my earliest memory and project forward to what I imagine will be my death. I never think about living beyond that span of time. Except by reputation.
Even after this loss.
Do you remember the origin movie
More
about
so
Hannibal?
after this loss.
Will Graham is a loss too. You might,
What
Grieve
basically
him
shows
as
why
well.
he became a
I
cannibal.
haven't given up on Will.
if they do find him guilty of killing Abigail Hobbs,
When? Let's be honest.
I don't recommend you participate in any rehabilitation effort.
I was so confident in my ability to help him. To solve him.
To save him.
Saving him. I lost Abigail. It's hard to accept that I could fail them both. So profoundly.
Okay, Jimmy, what do you got?
As you know, Will is a big fly fisherman, and he designs all of his own lures. Most anglers use feathers, fur, twine, bits of shell. They design each lure to catch a
Did
specific
he make
fish.
a lure with some shit
This
too?
one caught my eye. I noticed the hair color. Took me a few to accept what I was seeing. I ran a chem set to confirm the connection.
What connection?
4 of the lures are made from materials including human remains.
And we have a DNA match for all of them.
This one is Cassie Boyle. Bits of bone fragments and pieces of lung. Marissa Shore. Antler velvet, a fingernail wound with her hair. Dr. Sutcliffe. Crushed teeth, soft tissue from inside his mouth bound with cartilage from his jaw.
Oh my god, baby.
All victims of the copycat.
And this last lure was made with hair and fiber that matches Georgia match, and
He took trophies of all his victims.
Trophy. So now Will Graham's a serial killer who takes trophies?
Something's wrong with Will physically, neurologically. He's not a serial killer.
Well, it's hard to goddamn.
Maybe he went in
I
and
mean,
crafted all this motherfucking shit.
That is methodical. Okay?
Holy hell.
Downright diabolical. Shit. There ain't nobody even, I didn't even see that coming. I'm like, I thought he just fucking with his brain.
I'm not sure.
You're sick.
I wasn't consistent with taking my antibiotics. The fever came back.
We're gonna move you to a secure medical ward. We're gonna get to the bottom of whatever it is that's wrong with you, and we're gonna make sure that you get whatever kind of treatment you need.
And then what? Baltimore State Hospital for the criminally insane. Have children fumbling around in my head.
This job doesn't generally lend itself to optimism, all right? But I desperately want to be optimistic about an alternative to what every fiber of the evidence is telling me you've done.
I can't confess to something I don't remember.
The question is, how much more is there that you don't remember? We found your fishing lures.
Yeah, I should hope so. They were on my desk right by the front door.
We found human remains amongst the materials that you made them from. The human remains of Cassie Boyle, Marissa Shore, Donald Sutcliffe.
Now, we didn't even see him doing this shit.
Mitchell. Yes.
Now, that shit I remember.
I wasn't sick when Cassie Boyle was murdered. I wasn't sick when Marissa Shore was murdered.
That's not an argument you want to be making right now. Not with me.
Well, I'm saying that because then I would have remembered murdering them. If I was actually
Then I'd be
murdering
a
them.
psychopath.
My biggest fear is that we'll learn that you knew what you were doing the whole time.
You don't have to be afraid of that, Jack. There is something you should be afraid of, though.
Yeah, what's that?
Whoever's doing this to me,
Someone's doing this to you.
they'll be close to you. Could be someone here, working with you.
So that's it. It's a setup.
They know the cases. They know forensics.
Mm-hmm.
You know that I'm unstable.
Mm-hmm.
Can you hear how paranoid you sound?
Oh, yeah.
Or it could just be you. Then I'd be really screwed, wouldn't I?
I wanted to be, I wanted to do this. Lord Graham, you're under arrest for murder. You have the right to remain silent.
Is he really doing this right now? No, he's not. Because now you're going to look psycho.
Man, you ain't even left out the gate yet.
He threw the guard and the driver from the vehicle. We found the ambulance.
So he
and
did
the
try to
power
fucking
dump
escape.
These are not the actions of an innocent man.
They're the actions of a man who's impaired. I had Will draw a clock to test for cognitive dysfunction.
You should have saw his clock first.
That is extreme.
See? Oh, here we got the clock. Okay.
It's the clock that drew for me 2 weeks ago.
Perfect clock.
It's normal.
Baby. See, he's covering his motherfucking ass.
Plateaus for lengths of time.
Well, it has periods of clarity. We've seen him lucid and aware one moment, and then the next he's not.
Could be some form of encephalitis.
Fucking.
Autoimmune encephalitis.
It's hard to diagnose. There are no tumors, no lesions. It wouldn't even show up in a brain scan unless you were looking for it.
Look, just tell me if he could kill 5 people and not be aware of it. This doesn't feel like dementia. This is an intelligent psychopath. Look, this killer called the Hobbs house. He warned Abigail's father.
I was with Will that entire time.
Well, did he have an opportunity to make a phone call?
Before we went to interview Gary Jacob Hobbs, he was alone in the office while I was outside loading the car with the files, but that was only for a few minutes.
Dumb luck and bad bookkeeping. That's how Will said he caught Hobbs. Now, how would you say he caught him?
Oh, this is so
We looked
manipulative.
through the files, and it was as if Will plucked his name out of a hat, based on little more than an incomplete address.
Let me play the devil here for a moment, Doctor. This clock test. Could Will fake something like this? Would he be able to do that?
Yes.
Oh, God. And yet again, fucking Hannibal comes through.
They don't know who they fucking with,
They
man.
do not know.
They all learn today, though.
They are gonna learn today. That's why they keep getting played.
Hello, Will. How are you feeling?
What's up, motherfucker?
Self-aware.
Surprise, motherfucker.
You frightened Alana Bloom.
Oh, this him escaping from the ambulance? I thought it was a dream.
Which I can relate to.
He had a gun and everything.
Are you confused about who I am?
I'm not confused, I'm skeptical. Meaning I'm willing to change my mind should the evidence change.
Do you believe I killed Abigail?
I believe it's entirely possible, if not nearly indisputable, based on how you discovered her here.
If it was just Abigail, I would have believed. I would have believed that I got so far inside Hobbs's head I couldn't get out.
But it wasn't just Abigail.
I know who I am.
No. All sense of who you are has been distorted by your illness. You know who you are in this moment. That's not always the case, Will.
I didn't kill any of them. And somebody is making sure that no one believes me.
If we're to prove you didn't commit these murders, perhaps we should consider how you could have. And then this proves that.
And it's only the end of season 1.
Scales have just fallen from my eyes. I can see you there.
What do you see?
You called here that morning. And Abigail knew. And you kept her secrets. Until what? Until she found out some of yours.
You said it felt good to kill Gary Jacob Hobbs. Would it feel good to kill me now?
Oh, Gary Jacob Hobbs was a murderer. Are you a murderer, Dr. Lind?
What reason would I have?
You're here for no traceable motive. Which is why you were so hard to see. You were just curious what I would do. Someone like me. Someone who thinks how I think. and wind him up and watch him go. Apparently, Dr. Lecter, this is how I go.
Well, easy.
Shit. Now I can't even talk shit now.
Will was about to take him out, babe.
You would have been right. You saved a lot of lives.
Is he not even? No, he's been saying the same the whole time.
The right hemisphere of his brain was inflamed. They've placed him in an induced sleep and they're treating him with antiviral and steroid therapies.
Is he responding?
More or less. He's expected to make a substantial recovery.
Would you have gone to Minnesota with him if he didn't have a gun on you?
I would have wanted to. I believe I've failed to satisfy my obligation to Al. More than I care to admit.
Well, he's not your victim, Doctor.
Nor is he yours.
You know, in my time, I've seen people broken by the world. I've seen them broken in all kinds of hideous and offhanded ways, but never like this. Never like this.
No one in this room will be the same. Good evening.
Hello, Hannibal. Please come in.
Tête de veau en sauce verte.
Smells like a bonfire.
And smoked the veal on a pile of dry hay. It imparts a unique, smoldering flavor to the meat.
This is his apology for standing up this
And to the room.
appointment, babe.
This is an unexpected treat.
Thank you for indulging me.
You seemed like you needed to talk.
And since you refuse invitations to my dinner table, this is the only way I could cook for you.
What's on your mind, Hannibal?
I'm going to see Will tomorrow.
As a patient or as a friend?
As a farewell. Of sorts.
Thought Mr. Graham was finally going to be the patient who cost you your life.
It didn't cost me my life. It cost Abigail hers. Your meal is getting cold.
Controversial dish. Veal.
Those who denounce veal often cite the young age at which the animals are killed, when they're in fact older than many pigs going to slaughter.
You have to be careful, Hannibal. They're starting to see your pattern.
She knows he'll
What
kill
pattern
her.
would that be?
You develop relationships with patients who are prone to violence. That pattern. Under scrutiny, Jack Crawford's beliefs about you might start to unravel.
Tell me, Dr. Bimoyer, have your beliefs about me begun to unravel?
Maybe she like eating people too.
I don't know.
Seems like you don't cast up for nothing. Okay, you can have anybody been a psychiatrist.
inside a cell, baby.
You got what you want.
Hello, Dr. Lecter.
He ain't even calling him Hannibal. He's going just Dr. Lecter.
Now I have to dedicate the rest of
God
the time.
damn it!
Alright, that was the season finale of Hannibal, and it ended the way it was supposed to end. Will in jail, Hannibal still running around, nobody has a clue. There's an inkling of Hannibal being off, not right. And that's from Will's friend, who's a psychiatrist as well, who recommended him. Jack ain't really on the scent yet. So he really ain't got no reason to believe that he gonna need a little bit more. But Will don't figure it out. He got it. And I think season 2, obviously, is just gonna be Will trying. I don't even know how you gonna prove that the man is who he is. I don't know what you're gonna do. I mean, there's probably some smart ways for Will to do it, and so he's gonna be dedicated to do that for sure. But it's strange that Hannibal's psychiatrist is all about that veal. That young veal. Fresh slaughtered. Ate it all like she knows human. Half animal, half
I think you're
human.
making assumptions there.
God damn it, I know it. Hannibal, they're starting to see your patterns, bro. And she talking code. And I think she was talking in code earlier, too. We just didn't catch it because she's smarter than him. Okay? She been out here killing. She taught him how to kill. And so, hey, I think she's just gonna be a part of it. You don't cast Scully for nothing. Alright, so she here for a reason. And so while this season to me had some ups and downs. When it was up, it was creepy as hell, and I was into it all day. But at last, at the end here, you really couldn't give me no there because we know Hannibal got to come back again. You could have either killed Will and gave me a new person, but that wouldn't have been sweet revenge, right? So Will gonna have to get the revenge on there. And so it ended the way it needed to end. There was really no big wows on there other than, Will is finally caught on, which gradually I thought we was gonna get to it at some point anyway. I hope season 2, if we do get to watch it, I want to see less psycho Will and psychotic Will. I hope we get that less. Because his dream sequences, you just wasting my time on that. Yeah, he crazy. And you just trying to portray it. But we'll see. But still an excellent season right here. Very creepy. And it does not get old. So, hope you guys voted in again for next season. Because it's supposed to be off the chain.
I absolutely loved the ending. It's just I got goosebumps, honestly. But with Will being in the cell, saying Dr. Lecter and Hannibal being on the outside, knowing that he fully put him there, it's so good. And to your point, I do think, and I could be wrong, because Will suffered even at the beginning of the series or season because he goes to a really dark place as far as the way his mind works. Excuse me, but I do feel like a lot of the dream sequences and obviously all of the hallucinations type stuff and the wonky places in Will's head, a big majority of that has to be attributed to the encephalitis, right? So we could see, and I think the show did a great job too of showing how clear actually Will is when he's not dealing with the fever in his brain. So the immediate effect, him getting help in reference to his fever and how quickly he got out of that cloudy, misty, foggy place and he was direct and figuring shit out. I hope, to your point, that's what we see in season 2. But then also, I don't understand how this series has more than two seasons if that's going to be the case next season. But also, with the way Hannibal has expertly set up Will, no one's going to believe anything Will has to say because he looks like a criminal regardless of whether it's attributed to the fact that he had encephalitis or not. He still looks guilty as if he did all these killings.
Yeah.
It's set up for him And it doesn't matter whether you remember them or not, or whether it's a symptom of your disease that you had, you're still a killer, and you're still unstable. And so your word can't be trusted. So very clever as far as the length that Hannibal went to, not just to tie him to Hobbs, but to tie him to everything else. And I love the way that they went back and forth as far as the session goes, trying to unpack how Will could have killed them, I mean. And again, you just see the massive amount of strategic planning that went into setting up Will. And I love the onset of the episode too, because Hannibal was genuinely crying because he's like, this isn't how, it's like he had to give up his playthings too early. Like, I didn't want it to go this way, and now I have to find somebody else to be invested in and be supported, because he clearly killed, I mean, we didn't see her body, so maybe it's still left up there, but the fact that Will saw immediately how much blood was spilled, the trajectory that he's full-on Dextered it, was like, you can see by the spray, everything she did. And, I mean, the extent of, like, even what he did with that, bringing the ear back, making sure he got her stuff under, like, it's fucking insane to me. It's so fucking crazy. But yeah, that's a lot that Will has to build himself back up from. And I don't know, it's probably good. I don't even know how he's gonna do it, honestly. Like, I have no idea. To your point, I do feel like there is some camaraderie beyond psychiatry between Scully, now you got me saying Scully too, and Hannibal, but I don't think she knows that he's a killer. I don't know, I feel like that would be just ridiculous. And why did she quit him then? If she, like, so enjoys, similarly to how he wants to manipulate Will and girl, why would she not want to work with him anymore? Like, he had to, like, ask her to work for, like, be his psychiatrist again. So, but really great episode, really great season, a lot of creepy stuff. I'm so surprised on some of the lengths they went to as far as what they were able to do in this series, knowing that it was on TV. But I'm very excited about the prospect of seeing what a cat and mouse hunt, so to speak, looks like in the situation they set up for season 2, and hoping that Will is of, like, a clear mind too, because I feel like he's a savage, and we didn't really get to explore that as much, because whereas Hannibal just kept getting more strategic and putting all the chess pieces in place, Will fell the fuck apart this season. So it'll be interesting to see that dynamic changes going into season 2. So really hope you guys voted in soon.
Yep. All right, well, look, thank you guys again for watching another Real Talk reaction for Hannibal, Season 1, Episode 13, season finale. Until next time, peace.